I used 21 palettes in the month of May, and one of them got the X. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, monthly eyeshadow palette roundups and rankings, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. Okay, you guys. So someone in a recent video was really nice in the comments, and or very like, you know, nurturing, and said like, take a seat, do your video sitting down, because I was recently in a car accident, a pretty bad one, and I'm post almost a week, and it's just now really settling into like my back, my hips, my neck, not feeling so hot. So in that last video standing up, she was like, sit down. So I took a note. I'm sitting down, filming in the beauty room. That's not my favorite place to film. I know it's not you guys' favorite place either, because y'all don't love the lighting in here. I know it's very like peachy pink, like weird, but this is what I'm working with right now, so I can sit down for a little bit and just rest my body. But let's go ahead and get into these 21 palettes. Quite a few PR palettes did come in all at once, just in the month of May. It was a lot, because you guys know that I like to really thoroughly test out palettes and do multiple looks, and also use every shade in a palette in my reviews. So I got in like 4 all around the same time, and it was a lot of work, but it's still a labor of love. And but then a lot of these are purchased, I think, so I'll let you know which ones are PR, which ones are purchased. But let's go ahead and start with the one that got the axe, or is getting the axe. At number 21 is the 90s Remix Dance Palette from BH Cosmetics. Yes, I decided to go ahead and part with this one, and also the 80s and the 00s. That's what you call it, the 2000s, but like 00s. You guys, I don't know, like, I love this color story. I think it's so fun. Really pretty, kind of pastel-y with like a little bit of neon going on. I actually like really love these tones. But this is not the best BH formula. I do still have a few. Let's see, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I still have 12, 13 in front of me. I'm actually using them kind of like to help my stand, and so they're stacked underneath the bigger BH palette. So I still have quite a few, but there's some that I realize the formula really isn't that great, and to me it's these. I really wanted to keep this because of you know, the color story, but I used it a couple of times now, and it just falls flat. Like the shimmers are just that kind of, they swatch kind of pretty, but they don't show up that pretty on. They're kind of flat. You see that? Like, they're not the most metallic, shimmery, sparkly. So that's why this one's leaving, finally parting ways with it. Okay, at number 20, and honestly, 20 up, these are all decent palettes. They really are. I'll tell you where it got real hard kind of in the ranking, but this one is the Profusion Cosmetics in the Tropics. Now, let me show you what this comes in. This isn't the case that this one came in. This one's in a different color case, because this one's the In the City set, but these come with a face palette, an eyeshadow palette, and then they also come, here's the closure on this side. They also come with a face primer, an eye primer, 3 brushes. One just fell out. Really cool concept, I think, for travel. And actually, I love all 3 of the face palettes. But as far as the eyeshadow palette, I don't know that this is their best formula, because Profusion has some really good, you're going to see some a little bit higher in the ranking, really good formulas. So like, I like the mattes okay in here, not the most pigmented. They did build up, but they're just not my favorite. And then the shimmer is not the most shimmery. It's just, they definitely have better shimmer formulas. Even when I'm swatching it, you can, ow, it pinched me. You see that? It's not their best. It's really not. So it's just okay. I liked my look with this. It kind of inspired me actually to do something, you know, like tropical bird like. So not a terrible palette, definitely not their best. All right, at number 19 is this Reinarebelde palette. Got this in Ipsy. This is the Serena palette. Okay, you guys, I'm keeping this solely pretty much for this shade right here, this one, because it is a beautiful inner corner shade. So here it is right here. It doesn't look like much, but it really pops in the inner corner. This does not do it justice. Hello, can you see? I don't know why it talks. I think my head hitting in the car accident, sometimes I'm wondering about my head right now. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't talk. It is just a shimmer that I really like. So I'm keeping it for that. The mattes are okay. The other shimmers are okay in there. Keeping it for this shade only. But the rest of it, it had to be ranked a little bit lower. Okay, so it was 21, 2019, 18. 18 is this Nomad Cosmetics, the YXC palette, the Canadian Rockies palette. So this is part of their travel series. They now have 4 of them, but these 3 came out at once. And I'm putting this lower because these aren't my green tones. I love greens, but I have found that I like either neon green, grungy greens. I like, what else do I like? Like deep foresty greens, bright greens, but like kind of cooler tone greens that have like a bluish tone to them just don't really look that good on me. And honestly, I felt like the shimmer in here was kind of just okay. It fell a little, it looks pretty there, dang. It fell a little flat for me. See, it's not that shiny. I don't know. I also, to be fair, have only done 1 look with this. So maybe I'll use it again. Maybe it'll go up. But for me, it's just like a tone thing. It's not my favorite. You know what? I'm going to quit saying that number because I don't know where I'm at right now. Again, hitting the head in the accident. Okay, Nomad AUH. This is the Abu Dhabi side. You guys were going to get worried about me. I feel like you're going to comment and be like, girl, go get your head checked. Can you speak? Okay. Anyway, this is the Abu Dhabi palette from Nomad. And this is pretty. I mean, it's neutral. It's warm neutrals, deserty vibes here. The thing is like these shimmers look stunning as I'm moving them. And even when I look down, I'm like, oh, they look so sparkly and shimmery. Kind of remind me of, looking at it anyway, the shimmers in the Ghost Town USA that are very metallic. But I don't know, again, they weren't as impactful on my eyes for whatever reason. Now, I will say, okay, see, they're a little bit shinier than this. See how this one falls more flat? So they are shinier. You guys, this shade right here, Golden Hour, that has a pinky coppery tone, this on dark skin tones is gorgeous. It shows up more pink and it is beautiful. I wish it looked that pretty on me. On me, it just, I don't know, especially I was kind of dumb and wasn't thinking. And I used this in the inner corner and it was too dark based and it just kind of looked like a little bruise. So yeah, it's just not my favorite. This collection was just, I get it. If you travel, it just wasn't quite my favorite from Nomad. Don't worry, we'll go higher ranking here in a minute with Nomad. Okay, now we have Smitten by Profusion. So they did send these over, by the way. They sent over 5 pans. And this one honestly is really good. Like here on up, like these are really good palettes. They're not bad at all. This right here is a cream to shimmer formula that is so lovely. This one in this particular palette wasn't as impactful as in the other 2 that I'm going to show you. It's right here though. Look how pretty that is. Seriously, this is a drugstore palette, you guys. How pretty is that? Now, they got smart because this formula showed up in, there's one shade in the Harvest palette. Is it the Harvest palette? Where is it? Anyway, I don't know where it is that I have, but, and in the Casper palette, this formula showed up and I'm like, they need to run with that formula. It's so surprising and so good. So I think it's really smart that they put one in every one of these 5 pans. Actually the mattes are fine in here, but not my favorite mattes of theirs. They're like a little bit of like a satin matte. So that's kind of why this ranked a little bit lower, but honestly, these are pretty chic and sleek for drugstore, and that cream to powder, so good. Okay, we have another Profusion. They sent over a lot of stuff, you guys. In the month of May, every other day I opened up the door and I was like, it's another Profusion package, which I'm grateful, but it was a lot. Okay, so this one is from the In the City. So this is the one that comes in this one with this face palette. And actually, now I'm like, is it? Okay, it should, hold on. Let me make sure this is the face palette that goes with this. No, this one's in the Tropics. Okay, this one did go with the one I showed you guys earlier, so sorry about that. Okay, but this one In the City, the face palette looks different. Actually, I'm wearing this today. Yes, I'm wearing this on the eyes. Really pretty, cool toned. Kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, like Naked by Urban Decay, but honestly, performs a little bit better in my opinion. That was one of my oldest palettes that I finally let go not too long ago, my Urban Decay Naked palette. But it's kind of those tones, those like cool neutrals. And then this is face palette on right now. Look how pretty the highlight is. I've been impressed with those face palettes, but I do like this color story. I think this is a perfect, like everyday cool tone. Really, really easy to use. Like again, it's actually, these blended really nicely now that I'm thinking about it. Kind of reminded me of like a Huda palette for drugstore. Not bad at all. All right, then we're moving on to In the Wild. So this was the 3rd of those travel sets that came with the face palette and everything. And I just really, out of all 3, this is the color story that I like the most. And it's ranked the highest because this is one of those cream to powder that is freaking so good. I don't know why they didn't put one in all 3 of these, but you guys, this is so pretty. And it's, okay, there we go. It's golden. And then it also has like some reflexive green. It may not be picking up here, but you guys, this is so, look how pretty that is. What? This formula is excellent. So mattes, again, not like their best mattes, but still a pretty decent little 9 pan. Okay, then my favorite out of the Nomad ranked one up is the OSL. This is the Oslo Gardermoen palette. And here she is. I'm a cool tone neutrals girl. I really, really love smoky eyes. So that's why I like this one. And then I just thought these shimmers perform the best out of all 3 of the palettes. Definitely like a perfect smoky eye date night palette. Okay, now we are going up one to Bejeweled. So another one of those Profusion 5 pans. But again, you guys kind of see that theme. If it's going to be cool toned, if it has some smoky tone, silvery gray, I'm really, really going to like it. Now this one has 3 of these kind of matte shimmers in here that are really, really pretty. So it's got some sparkles in it. This one's like icy white with sparkles. Looks gray there. Okay. And then again, we have this beautiful shimmer formula, but this shimmer formula, it's not really the cream to powder one, I don't think, but it's still just really, really impactful. But yeah, we have the swatches right here. You see that shift though of this shimmer? You guys, that's in a Profusion palette. Are you kidding? So pretty. So I just really, really love that color story, but there's actually one higher like that. Okay, then we have the Golden Hour palette by Dose of Colors. You guys, I always think Okay, I've got a few of these, and I did declutter actually the Soiree one that was cool toned. Like, you'd think I'd love it. It was like dark and grays, and there was like a pinky mauve in it. It did not perform as well as Golden Hour and another one in this lineup, but I always think like, okay, I could probably, let's try this out again. I'll probably want to declutter it. Won't be that good. And then it always is. These shimmers are so good in here. And then these mattes are really pigmented. So like this color story looks boring, but you guys, it's a really, really nice palette. And I used it in conjunction with another dose of colors that's coming up soon. And I loved the look, but you guys, I'm already popping it over here, you see. Okay, so this Profusion Golden Hour palette. Again, another one of the 5 pans. And I put it higher because I just really like this color story. I think it's really, really fun. This tone of green, I really like. It's actually not quite as bright as it's showing up here. It's a little more of like a murky, grassy green, kind of more like this tone. But again, you have a really beautiful shimmer in here. Look at that. Does that not look like liquid? Not liquid, just like melted gold. There it is. I don't know if that's showing up like I want it to, but so pretty. And then I also love this mustard tone in here. So again, do not discount my Profusion. But okay, so one more up from that one is this other dose of colors, the Cutting Edge palette. And I just like this color story better because it's a little bit more diverse. So here it is. I like that you've got these, you know, kind of murky, again, mustardy yellow green, and then this sort of rust color. And then just these shimmers are so pretty. Really, really, really enjoy these palettes. Okay, I did go ahead and count for you guys now. So at number 8, we have the Mystique palette from Alter Ego. And I do really, really like this palette. It's just, I've got some super bangers higher than this one. But this, I do have a video on it. I did get it in PR. And this is inspired by Circo Loco by Natasha Denona. Only it's laid out much less loco. Makes much more sense this way with these kind of more monochromatic rows here. I saw a lot of feedback that people really appreciated this layout so much more. They are magnetic. So if you're like, no, I want it to look just like Circo Loco, then you could rearrange it. But this one surprised me because when I swatched it, I mean, the swatches actually look really nice, but I just didn't know it'd be as pigmented as it is. Plus, some Alter Ego, you have to really build up the mattes, and then some not so much, like Wildwood. This one is that really good formula of matte like Wildwood. Like, they are pigmented. Really surprised about that. And then we do have the shimmers in here that performed really nicely. This is a solid palette, really affordable. If you like tropical looks and you don't want to spend a lot, absolutely recommend this. Or if you never got Circo Loco, you don't want to spend that money like me, I'm really, really happy to have this baby. And I love the packaging so much. Okay, so at number 7, we have the Moira Fun is in the Air palette. This has been in many of my rankings and recommendations because I love this palette. So here it is. And I'd say I get this back out like every other month, probably. Like, as much as I test out, as many palettes as I have, I get this back out a lot because I just always feel really inspired by it. And I love the mix. If you've seen my videos and seen me talk about this palette, you're probably like, girl, we've heard you say it so many times. I love mixing this gray here with the neons. It looks so cool. I do think my look with this month is my favorite I've ever done with it. And you can kind of see, like, you just get inspired by this palette, or at least I do. I love the tones of it. I love the neons. I always just, I don't know, it like challenges me, but it's not hard to use. It just makes me think outside the box when I do a look. And then I love my looks all the time. So I love this palette, and it's affordable. Okay, then at number 6, we have the Culture palette by Juvia's. Honestly, you guys, this one's kind of hard to beat. Like, I know it's number 6, but it's a really, really good palette formula wise. Mattes are solid. And I mean, look, like the way it's laid out, almost completely monochromatic. I guess it really is. I mean, this row kind of enters into, you know, like corally pink with some neutrally browns, but for the most part, monochromatic rows. The thing is you have to like, they have these kind of glittery shades in here that aren't like true glitter, but they're kind of gritty like glitter. So, but they're really pretty. This one is so pretty on the eye. It just gives a beautiful multicolored sparkle, but here it is right here. See that? When it catches the light, it's so pretty, but it is kind of a glittery formula. So for that reason, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but mattes are really great in here. And there's so many looks that you can do. Okay, we are at number 5. Number 5 is Sickly Sweet by Blend Bunny. And I really do adore this palette so much. It's definitely one of my favorite pastels. Like if not, okay, my lighting's getting weird when I hold it up, but if not my favorite. And the reason for that is just the mix of those dark shades in here with the pastels. It just, again, kind of like the Moira Fun is in the Air palette. It challenges me in a way that, like, you don't have to work that hard though for your look to look cool. And like, oh, she must have really thought about that. But it's really just because you're challenged to use a dark shade juxtaposed with a pastel shade. And it looks like really cool. Like you tried hard, but you didn't, if that makes sense. But really love the shimmers in here as well. They're very, very shiny and metallic. At number 4, we have Dede Signature's The Ultimate Cappuccino palette. And formula-wise, very hard to beat, you guys. Very hard to beat her formula. Mattes, buttery smooth, and then you have the shimmers, and a couple of these are like really, really shifty, impactful, like this one right here, the caramel French toast. It has like a dark base, and then it just has this gorgeous like turquoise to it, but there's like purple shifts in it. So pretty. Then I also love Americano. Very fiery looking. Latte is stunning. That's my other favorite in the palette. Really recommend this brand to you guys if you have not tried it. She, along with, say, Simply Posh Cosmetics, Nomad, pretty much are like still doing awesome palettes at good prices when everyone else is going up. Highly recommend. Speaking of Nomad, at number 3, we have the New Zealand Stargazing palette. And you guys, this one has really grown on me. And I'm like, I don't know what was wrong with me. When I got this palette initially and did a video, I really did love my looks. But I remember saying in it, like, I don't know what to do with it though. The color story intimidates me. And now I'm like, did I get my head hit then too? Because this is not that intimidating. It really makes sense color story wise. It's a beautiful, I think the more I use this, like the more I'm falling in love with this palette. Very beautiful looks, very shifty multi-chromes in here. The mattes work amazing. Definitely has risen in my ranks of my favorite Nomad palettes for sure. At number 2 is Simply Posh, speaking of the Coastal palette. So I do have a video on this as well. I did 4 looks, and I said in that video that I'm pretty sure this is now my favorite Simply Posh palette. And I do believe so that it is. The Aura palette is right below that, and then probably Citrus Punch, which those are all the ones available right now, by the way. And if I have any codes with any of these, you'll always see those in the description. You don't have to use them. It's just if you want to save some money. But you guys, I was kind of surprised by this palette because I did think it was really pretty when I saw the reveal. I just didn't know how stunning it would be on the eyes and how beautiful the tones would go together. I think she and Wicked Widow Beauty, I think, do the best color stories that make the most sense. Really smart, beautiful formula, very beachy. I'm a summer girl, so I love it. Okay, number 1, if you watch my videos, you guys, you know. It's Wicked Widow Beauty. Of course it is. The Crow palette. Okay, you guys, I was so mad at myself after, so I made such a big deal doing, you know, the video, and I was like, I'm one of the only ones that actually like knows this movie by the back of my hand. I love this film. It meant so much to me. I was so excited for this to come out. I was so passionate about the palette. And then I was watching my video and I freaking called Brandon Lee, Jason Lee twice in the video. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. The reason for that was chipmunks. You guys know, like the chipmunks. Well, like the stupid real people chipmunks. The chipmunks are animated, but the people are real. Jason Lee plays Dave. Well, my kids had watched Chipmunks the day before I filmed. Subconsciously, I kept calling my beloved Brandon Lee, Jason Lee in that video, and I didn't realize until I already had it uploaded, and I was like, so anyway, a few of you caught that, and I'm mortified. Okay, moving on to this palette. Just the love I have for this palette. I get totally, this is not the most universal color story for everyone. I know some didn't think there was enough variety in here. This is when you have to have and use it to see that there is more variety. Like, yes, it is a pretty much dark, cool tone, stormy palette with some reds. That is true. But there are no repeat shades in here. There are beautiful shifts to the shimmers in here. You can get several different looks out of this, and it is the quality. You guys, it makes my heart race. It really, really does. I feel so sexy and like strong whenever I wear this palette. The looks, I felt like you can't mess with me. I can do anything. Like, I want my looks to make me feel pretty, creative, or tough and strong and confident. And this is that tough, strong, confident type of palette. And just everything surrounding it, how much I love the film, the quality, the color story, everything surrounding this. Of course, it's my number one. Some really good palettes this month, you guys. But that is it. Those are my 21 palettes of May. Let me know if you're going to pick any of these up now. Let me know what your favorite palette of May was. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.